Um, my name's Sarah Davis, and I am the manager of the recruitment team here at Pellissippi. And tonight we have joining me Grant Reardon and Debbie Benedict. And Grant's got some housekeeping items to go over with you guys.
Hey, thank y'all for being on here. Few housekeeping things. If you have any questions, please submit that in the Q&A box you see on the bottom of your screen. We will get to those at the end of the presentation. So our goal is to have all of them answered. Just do us a big favor and just don't make it anonymously. Like we love to know who you are and those scenarios like that. Um, Also, this webinar is also going to be recorded as well. And again, if you have any questions, please put that in the Q&A box. You can go next slide, Sarah.
All right. So first of all, let's talk a little bit about kind of what your next steps are in the enrollment process. And part of that is making sure that all of your admissions requirements are complete. You'll need to make sure to send us your high school transcript and your ACT scores. If you've attended college previously, we'll need to get college transcripts. If you're a high school student and you've done dual enrollment with the college other than Pellissippi, make sure we get those transcripts. So any college classes that you've ever attended, make sure we get any transcripts that you have. All right. The next is about placement testing. So we do have some requirements in terms of the testing and your ACT scores. We do require ACT scores, and the scores that we require in order to be placed in a college level classes is an 18 in English and a 19 in reading and math. However, if your GPA is a 3.6 or higher, then we will waive that ACT requirement. If it's been several years, like more than 5 years that you have had the ACT, then we have an entrance test that you can take. It is free. And so you'll just sign up for a time where you can come into the campus and take that test.
All right, so I think I skipped a slide. Let me go back, sorry. Okay, so you guys, your next step after you submit your transcripts and ACT scores, really your next step is to go ahead and set up all of your Pellissippi accounts. So the first thing you need to do is go to our website and just search help desk. It's our website, pstcc.edu/help desk is the website you need to go to. When you get there, you will see this line that says need your P number and email address. Look them up here. You click on that link. It'll ask you for your name, date of birth, and the last four of your social. And then it's going to display, it's going to give you your Pellissippi email, your Pellissippi student ID number, and your default password to sign into all of your Pellissippi accounts. So, also, I should have mentioned this. After all of your admissions requirements are complete, you should, at that point, you are considered accepted into the college. So you should be getting an email to your Pellissippi email, and you should get a packet in the mail. Once we get those transcripts and ACT scores, or you take that entrance test or placement test. All right, so you're after that, you're going to look up your P number. Then you can go to our website. There's a direct link to this page in the upper left corner. It says My Pellissippi. If you click on that link, it takes you to this like landing page for a lot of our platforms. So My Pellissippi is your portal to the college. This is where you're going to be registering for classes, viewing if you have holds on your account, like if we're still missing your transcripts or ACT scores, if you need to turn in things for financial aid, it's all in this portal. So you definitely want to log in there. Brightspace is our online platform. So if you're taking a virtual class or an online class with us, that's where you're going to go to get your assignments. And then also instructors, even for in-person classes, sometimes use Brightspace for homework and notes and things like that. Webmail, you have access to Outlook. That's where you're going to plug in that Pellissippi email that you just looked up and that default password. That will get you into your Outlook. Office 365, as a student, you have access to Word, PowerPoint, Excel, the whole Office 365. And then the last thing on here is, well, second to last thing is Navigate Student. So Navigate is our appointment software, and is where you're going to go to make that advising appointment and make that orientation appointment, sign up for your orientation. So the good news is all the platforms are connected, so they all have the same email and password. Okay. Once you're logged into your portal, your My Pellissippi, as a new student, it is not hard to navigate, but you don't exactly know where to go. So the main thing you need to pay attention to is in the very top, your alert box. I believe it says your alerts. And it may say something like what you see. This is old, but you have unsatisfied requirements for the 2022-2023 academic year. Click here to complete. It may say something a little different, like you have a hold on your account. Those are typically for admissions. That requirements are typically for financial aid. But whatever you see in that alert box, you just need to kind of look at, click on those links. If you have any questions, reach out to us. Okay.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about advising. So as a new student, it is important to make sure that you're making your advising appointments. And you can go to your the Navigate link that Sarah just told you all about, or if you would like, you're welcome to download the Navigate app onto your phone or your device. And you can make appointments through Navigate. That's like our little appointment system where you will go and do that. And then if you would like more information about advising and how it all works, you're welcome to go to the advising website. And there's a lot of really great information there. Sometimes they'll post about if we're having walk-in advising dates, those are all posted on their website. So that's a good place to go if you're just looking for a day where you can walk in and do advising. And then there's always the advising email if you just need to ask them general questions.
Yeah, and I'm going to add advising for new students for fall will open up in May. And if you are starting in the summer, advising is already, your registration is already open. It's already underway. So go ahead and get that appointment. You do have to have your admissions file complete before you can make that advising appointment. All right, sorry guys, my keyboard was stuck. All right, financial aid. This is super important slide. If you have not already applied for financial aid, that is your first step, is to complete the FAFSA form, which is the free application for federal student aid. That form can be found on studentaid.gov website. That's studentaid.gov.gov. And if you're starting in the summer, you want to complete the 25-26 FAFSA. And if you're starting in the fall, you want to complete the 2026-2027 FAFSA. So oftentimes it's confusing the students. Some students will do the wrong year's FAFSA, but that's really important to do the correct year of FAFSA. All right. And then if you need help with your FAFSA, please reach out to our office. We will have all our contact information at the end of this presentation. But after you do your FAFSA, about a week later, Pellissippi should be receiving that FAFSA, about maybe 5 to 7 business days, but then we should get your FAFSA in the system. So once we receive your FAFSA, then you can check your My Pellissippi account to see if there's anything else that we need for you to turn in. Sometimes we need, I don't know, proof of citizenship, or sometimes we might need a driver's license or a tax return. You know, it could be different things. And you might not see anything at all, but just definitely follow up, make sure you're checking on that. All right, the other thing you want to do is the TSAC student portal. So that is the Tennessee Student Assistance Corporation. They are the people who give us the money for all these scholarships. And when you, for you, high school, when you applied for Tennessee Promise, you put a college there in that Tennessee Promise application. So at that point, that was about a year ago. Well, not a year ago, but that was back in probably August, September maybe. If you did not put Pellissippi, you want to log into that student portal and make sure you update that to Pellissippi. If not, they'll be sending your money somewhere else. Okay. So definitely check that. And then the deadlines, for financial aid, there's an early bird deadline of June 1st. But the priority absolute, deadline for financial aid for fall is July 15th. Now, if you're starting in the summer, your deadline would be April 1st. And then for fees, you guys, the fee payment for fall is August 11th. And at Pellissippi, we call fee payment deadline your confirmation. You have to confirm your schedule. That's what we call it at Pellissippi. So it'll say fee schedule deadline / schedule confirmation deadline, and that's August 11th. So, and then for summer, it would be May 19th. Okay, that's a lot.
Yeah, so Pellissippi, we have student orientations. You have an online orientation and as well as on-campus orientations. And these are great because you get to, see people that are going to be on the same campus that you are going to be on and be able to get a feel for what the campus is like. And another step of it is meeting a success coach, and they are here to guide you every step of the way if you need them, in terms of just basic planning or how to handle certain situations academically, and they're always there for you, so please utilize them. But to see the orientation dates and to get part of the online orientation, those are actually going to be coming out April 1st. On that website, you can also scan that QR code to get directly to that part of the website. But orientation is a requirement. They will find you if you don't do it. But it is a great way for you to get acclimated to the campus you're going to be on, and as well as meet students that you might have in your classes in the future. All right.
Hang on, Grant. I'm so sorry.
It's all good.
Okay.
All right. Awesome. Panther Experience. Panther Experience, this is another way for you to get on campus early. And I mean early, we're talking next Thursday is a great opportunity. This is at our Hardin Valley campus. This is a way for you. You can register on Nest Navigate after we talked about earlier with your advising. But you can make your advising appointments there with our actual advisors. You can sign up for your orientation while you're there. There's food, there's a bunch of events going on. There's a bunch of tables for different resources if you have a certain scenario or a certain group that you actually want to talk to about a personal situation. They are there for you as well. But it's a great way to get the vibe of how it's going to be on campus. So please come out on one of those 2 dates, April 2nd or May 14th. We'd love to have you there. All right, books, the fun part. So you can figure out what books you need after your classes are scheduled, and you can do it on the detailed schedule part of your My Pellissippi. One new thing that's happened here at Pellissippi is we now are condensed into one bookstore, but you have access to order your books online, and you can get them either delivered to your house, delivered to your campus, or you can go to the Hardin Valley campus and get your books from the bookstore. If you have any excess aid, you have the ability to to charge that aid from August 6th to 26th to go ahead and get your textbooks, and your aid will cover that for you. And then the last and the most one of the most important things I believe is students feel you need to get into your email as quick as possible. I feel like a lot of students think it's going to go to their personal email, and there's a lot of important information that actually goes to your Pellissippi email as soon as you apply and you get your account set up. So please get signed into that email. Sarah was showing how you can get into your Outlook email, and that would be very important to get information that's going to be vital for you from now to when you get started in August.
Okay, so Sarah had mentioned a little bit about our schedule confirmation. So that's a very important date in which you'll need to go into your My Pellissippi account and tell us that yes, I will attend Pellissippi. And that date for fall students is going to be August 11th. So make sure that you get that done on time. And if you can get it done early, then that's great. Then that way you don't have to worry about it or accidentally forget about it later. All right, so some important deadlines for the fall. So these dates are for those students that are wanting to come in the fall. We have our financial aid early bird deadline, which is June the 1st. And then we have July 15th. This is like the absolute financial aid deadline. If you want your financial aid to be on your account by that August 11th confirmation date, you really need to shoot to have your stuff in by July 15th. This will give our financial aid office plenty of time to get everything processed and to make sure there's not any additional things that you're going to have to turn in. And like I said, the confirmation deadline is August 11th. If you do have any thing that you owe, like if you have to pay for a textbook or any kind of extra fees, that applies at that time. So you have to make sure that you pay those as well. And then, of course, classes will start August 19th.
Awesome, Debbie. Thank you. And then for summer, you guys, I know a lot of you guys on here are starting this summer. So that financial aid deadline again for summer is April 1st. And the deadline to pay your fees for summer is May 19th. And then classes for the full term will start May 26th. All right. My computer's stuck again. I guess this is so weird. Okay. The Pellissippi State Experience. So you guys, we have lots of things going on at Pellissippi for you to get involved in, for you to be part of our Pellissippi community. We have art exhibits, musical performances, theater performances, all in our beautiful Clayton Performing Arts Center. We have tons of clubs and organizations. We have a cycling club, we have a creative writing club, we have a photography club. And then we have a really great office on our campus, one of many great offices that help with student services. And that office is our Engage and Lead, student engagement and leadership. And they're the ones overall, the clubs and organizations, but they're also the fun people on our campus. So they are going to be doing, today we had our spring fling, and it was really cool. There were games outside, and we had a band playing some music, and everybody was gathered in the courtyard. So it was really neat. And then they also do Fall Festival. Last week they showed a movie in the auditorium. I think they did one of the Wicked movies. So there's always ways for you guys to like meet other people and get on the campus and feel like you're part of that community. The other thing is study abroad. You guys, we have a really robust study abroad program, and you can travel all over the world while you're taking college classes. So it's a fantastic opportunity. I encourage you guys to look further into that. And the last thing I'll mention is career development. So they are really present with all of our students. So especially the students in one of our career programs seeking the Associate of Applied Science degrees, because they're going right into the workforce after Pellissippi. So career development really focuses in on, trying to get them jobs within their field of study, and internships and things like that. So, but they really work with all of our students on their resume writing, their interview skills. So they're a big presence on our campus. All right, so you guys, hopefully you're thinking of questions to type in the Q&A box. We look forward to seeing you on our campus soon. We have all of our contact information here, so hopefully this was a very informational presentation, but if you still have questions, please reach out. We can't really discuss account specific information like how much financial aid you qualify for, things like that, unless you reach out to us, So anyway, and then any questions? So I think, Debbie, do we have any questions?
There was one question that somebody had asked at the beginning if there would be another webinar for people in the fall. But yeah, so everything that was covered tonight is for students that are starting in the fall, both summer and fall.
Yes. And also this webinar is going to be recorded and posted on the website, on our YouTube channel. We will also offer over the summer, we do monthly webinars, and usually they're Thursday nights, like the last Thursday of the month or the third Thursday of the month. I don't know. It'll be on our website, you guys. But we do like Q&A, kind of like we're just virtually available for any questions that you guys have. So if you start through diving into this, what you've learned tonight, and you run into more questions and maybe, you can't reach out to us during the day. I understand, it's hard. We're open 8 to 4:30 Monday through Friday. So, but the Q&A sessions will be at 6 o'clock. It'll be just like a webinar, but we'll take questions. I do have one other question. How do students actually like get their transcripts to us? Like, who do they send them to, and how they even get those if they're not sure? Debbie, do you mind taking that one?
Sure. So the first thing to do is to request for those to be sent. So you'll talk to your high school, or if it's a college, then you would just talk to them and you'll ask them to send them to Pellissippi. Most of the high schools in the area send us transcripts all the time. So if you just tell them, I want my transcript sent to Pellissippi, then they know exactly where it needs to go. But yeah, so that you would just contact either your high school, or if you've been to college before, just contact them and ask them to send them directly to Pellissippi.
Perfect. Thank you, Debbie.
You're welcome. So here's a question that someone just typed in. How will Pellissippi contact to say you got accepted? When they say, thank you for applying, what steps do I need to take? All right, so when you have gotten like your full acceptance, you will receive like something in the mail that's kind of like an acceptance package with your acceptance letter. So that will come in the mail once you've been fully accepted to Pellissippi, meaning your enrollment file is complete. So we have all of your transcripts and everything that you have done. So once you've completed all those steps, then you will get your acceptance letter in the mail. So I hope that helps.
All right, you guys. If we don't have any other questions for now, please, you guys don't hesitate to reach out to us if you have any questions later on. And thank you guys so much for joining us. Have a great night.